Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. In every podcast, I'll talk about an organizing, decluttering, productivity, or time management concept, and I'll tell you why it's important. I'll include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away, all in just 5 minutes. If you have questions or would like me to talk about a particular topic, just shoot me an email at claire@cluttercoach.net. I would love to hear from you. This is podcast 125, and it's about focusing on process rather than results. Someone I met recently has decided finally to declutter and get organized, and is fired up about it. The time has come. Let's go. Now! While I admire his enthusiasm, I cautioned him that his project might be a bit too ambitious. Maybe his reach exceeds his grasp. It's a good idea to stretch ourselves, to strive for things that are not simple or easy to attain. But if your goals keep staying just beyond your reach, you will get discouraged. The idea isn't to abandon your goal or make it smaller, but to reach it incrementally. Any decent goal is something big enough that you can't achieve it right away, or this month, or maybe even this year. Inspiring goals take some work and planning and stick-to-it-iveness. We don't value or respect things that come without much effort. Many goals, such as improving your home and lifestyle by getting organized and decluttering, have to do with fundamentally changing our day-to-day habits. That kind of change means you have to bump yourself out of accustomed ruts. Actually, you have to recognize those ruts in the first place, then put your attention on getting out of them. Big changes like this are way more sustainable if they occur over some period of time, so you can build a foundation to support them. So, back to Mr. Enthusiasm. Just a few days after laying out his grand plan and attacking it, he wanted to quit. He had put in many hours and checked tasks off his list, but he didn't see progress. Obviously, it wasn't working. His fervor had just worn off. It was clear to me, though, that he had gotten off to a very good start. He'd tackled some things he'd been putting off for years, and had identified several problem areas to fix. The issue was that he was looking for results too soon. The fix for that is simply to focus on the process. A few years ago, I did a podcast called Boss Hat, Employee Hat. In a nutshell, this means that when you are the boss, you are strategizing, making plans, and writing task lists. Next, you are the employee, and you just go through that list doing the tasks. You don't second-guess or reprioritize. The boss, who's also you, of course, already did all that work. This is a very productive way to work because your brain is relieved of making decisions and weighing options. Performing the tasks requires a different type of thinking. Mixing the two, or ping-ponging back and forth, leads you to waste the entire morning starting a task, then changing your mind, then going off and letting yourself get distracted, then choosing something else, but worrying it's not the right thing. Sound familiar? Trust the boss. Trust the tasks you wrote down are the right things to do, and just do them, sure and steady. You are not only checking off things from the list, but you're building the habit of productivity. The boss has identified what needs to be done, and now you are doing it. Your success is getting through the list, not crossing the finish line. Not yet. That'll be later. Focusing on the process of actually doing the tasks is also a good way to keep going once the initial flush of excitement about the project is gone. In another podcast, I talked about the interesting findings of the procrastination study group. One is that people erroneously assume that their work won't be as good if they are not in the mood to do it. That is simply not true. So try treating your tasks like household or personal chores. Do you refuse to brush your teeth because you're not in the mood? Probably not. Do you stop washing the dishes because it's not inspiring? I hope not. There are many things we put up with in daily life because of the positive results we get from them. Many tasks associated with achieving a desirable goal are just not going to be that thrilling. Do them anyway. Mr. Enthusiasm might also be a bit of a perfectionist, and that further hampers his eagerness to keep at it. Again, focusing on process, not action, will help a lot. It's like putting a big X marks through the day on your wall calendar. You finished today. That's what you did. And now you're one day closer to the end of the year. Looking back and criticizing those days is pointless. Keep looking forward. What you can do right now If you've given up on a project, go back and make a list of the tasks you can start doing now to get it going again. Then just do those tasks, one by one. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe, too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to it. The show is available on SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. And you'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net. See you next time.